Welcome back to another segment of Michigan Conservative Roundtable. Please like, share, and subscribe. My name is TJ. As we approach the 20th anniversary of 9/11, I'd like to dedicate this segment to a group of heroes who gave their lives to save other lives on the ground. I'm referring to the 33 passengers and 7 flight crew members of United Flight 93. A quick review of the events of 9/11. 4 jets were hijacked in a coordinated terrorist attack on this country. 3 of those jets hit their target. 1 jet, United Flight 93, crashed in a field in Pennsylvania just north of a small town by the name of Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Timeline of events were 7:59 a.m. Flight 11, Boeing 767, departs Boston, striking the North Tower of the World Trade Center at 8:46 a.m. At 8:15, Flight 175, Boeing 767, departs Boston, striking the South Tower of the World Trade Center at 9:03 a.m. At 8:20 a.m., Flight 77, Boeing 757, departs D.C. Dulles Airport, striking the Pentagon at 9:37 a.m. At 8:42 a.m., after a 40-minute delay, United Flight 93 departs Newark. At 9:57 a.m., passengers of Flight 93 attempt to retake the jet from the terrorists. At 10:03 a.m., United Flight 93 crashes into a field once used for strip mining just north of Shanksville, Pennsylvania. United Flight 93 flew as far west as Ohio before turning back on a heading toward Washington, D.C. This is confirmed by the navigational device settings, and given its speed and flight pattern, they estimate that leading up to the crash they were as close as 20 minutes from their target. Flight 93 is reported to have been in a 45-degree inverted angle, meaning upside down, traveling at close to 580 miles per hour at the time of impact. It is believed the passengers were close to retaking the jet from the terrorist hijackers, thus prompting the terrorist pilot to put the plane into an inverted dive. The crash site is now a national park, Flight 93 National Memorial Park. Since I have family close to that park, I've had the opportunity to visit it a few times. At this time, I would like to present my own slideshow of Flight 93 National Park. So here we have a map. In the northeast corner, you have the entrance to the park off of U.S. Route 30, also referred to as the Lincoln Highway. And here's Mrs. TJ and me standing at the Memorial Park entrance sign. And here's just another picture of the entrance sign at a different angle. And if you notice, to the left, off in the distance, stands a tower. It's called the Tower of Voices. It stands 93 feet tall in honor of Flight 93. It contains 40 wind chimes, 1 each for the 33 passengers and 7 crew members. Its semicircle shape, orientation, and design is intended to optimize the airflow as it passes through the structure, causing the chimes to sound in harmony. After a short scenic drive through the park, you arrive at the Visitor Center Complex. When you arrive at the Visitor Center Complex, first thing you'll see are 2 maps. One is on a poster board sign, and the other is on a table, giving you a 3-dimensional presentation of the national park. Both maps list the sites there to see. And here I am on a walkway that leads to the Visitors Center Complex. This walkway follows the flight path the final moments of Flight 93 before it crashes in the field below. Along the path, there are engravings in honor of the 3 other jets that also crashed on 9/11. Midway down the path is the Flight 93 National Memorial Visitor Center. It's a small facility. Inside there is a small gift shop, and then they have a few aisles of displays providing information and detail on the events of September 11th, 2001. There's a piece of the fuselage also on display of Flight 93. Unfortunately, they discourage photography in the facility, so I really have no pictures of what it's like inside. And at the end of the Visitor Center complex, you find yourself on what's called the observation deck. From there you can view the impact site, the crash site. There is a wall of names, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, and the wood line that you see beyond. In that wood line, at the time of the crash, there was wreckage, debris, human remains, but what was also discovered was a credit card and identification that belonged to one of the terrorist hijackers. It's difficult to see in the glass, but etched in the glass that I'm standing by is a sentence reading, "A common field one day, a field of honor forever." As you approach the Memorial Plaza down below, you are greeted with a series of signs providing detail and information of the events of 9/11. One of the signs has pictures of all of the passengers and flight crew of Flight 93. A walkway leads from the Memorial Plaza along the east and northern perimeter of the impact area, and you end up at what's called the Wall of Names. The Wall of Names contains slabs, and on these slabs, engraved, are the names of the 33 passengers and 7 crew members of Flight 93. And here I am, standing next to the wall, and as you can see to the right up the hill is the Visitor Center complex and observation deck. And here I am standing next to the portion of wall engraved with Todd Beamer's name. If you recall, he was one of the passengers that led in the effort to retake the plane and was overheard in a phone call, cellular phone call, saying to one of the passengers, asking them if they were ready, and then saying the words, "Let's roll." As you walk along this wall of names, you are following the flight path, the final moments of Flight 93, just prior to impact. And as you can see in the picture, at the end is a wooden gate. Beyond that wooden gate is a boulder that has been positioned to depict the center of impact of Flight 93. And just a picture of me along the pathway along the eastern perimeter of the impact area. At an angle to the right of my right shoulder, you'll see the boulder off in the distance. And this is about as close as you can get to the impact area. And here is a close-up of the boulder that depicts the center of impact of Flight 93. I'll repeat the words etched into the glass on the observation deck at the Welcome Center. A common field one day, a field of honor forever. That concludes my slideshow. I have a few closing remarks here. I'd like to encourage everyone to, if you're traveling through Pennsylvania in that area, to do a little detour, pay your respects. Yes, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's about a 30-minute drive north of the Somerset exit off the Pennsylvania Turnpike. In about 2 or 3 hours, you'll see most everything there that's to be seen. Most everyone you meet there is kind and polite. Everybody knows why everybody is there. A little bit of backstory. The way I'm told, the local officials put the federal government on notice, saying, if you don't turn this into a memorial, we will. Thus prompting the federal government to establish or create the Flight 93 National Memorial Park. One final suggestion, and then I'll end. If you get a chance, you ought to watch the movie United 93. For me, it was difficult for me to watch. We know how the story ends. But the movie gave some interesting insight into what the air traffic controllers were going through during this ordeal. Along with a man by the name of Ben Sliney, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Ben Sliney, Sliney, who plays himself as the head of the FAA, the man who made the command decision to ground all air travel that day in an effort to bring this insanity to an end. That's it. Thanks for watching. As always, be safe. Watch your six. And don't tread on me.